Hey, good evening. It's Pat Dees, and welcome to Money Me. It's February 17th, Wednesday, hump day, they say. So, hey, I wanted to get on here and just, I want to get in the habit of regularly doing these, and I'm going to share the screen with you. And I thought tonight I would talk about Amazon and Shopify. So I appreciate the people. The channel's been growing up to 231 subs. I'd like to get it up to 500 subs really within the next 30 days. So if you guys know anybody that's interested in talking about all things money, and will you do me a favor and money me and subscribe to the channel? So yesterday I did a video on CVS, and let's actually pull up the chart real quick. It recovered some today. It was down like 5%, and it recovered like half the candle pretty much, but that's good. I mean, it could still obviously drop. There were a lot of stocks today I watched that were down some earlier. Now I sold it yesterday for $72.79. Took less than $100 loss on the position. I just didn't like this big heavy candle. Now a green candle today, but only about 60%, 65% of the volume was compared to yesterday. So it's not like it. I'm still actually holding, and maybe I'll get lucky. I'm holding 375 calls that expire this Friday. Honestly, if I got 50 cents out of them a piece, I would be happy with that, because I think I have about a buck into it. So I almost thought I was looking at a full loss of about $300. Instead, 50 cents, I would only get it. So if it jumps tomorrow, probably it closed at 72.71. I mean, yesterday was just so maybe yesterday was just a blip. Now I did have someone message me, and they were asking what they were underwater in puts that they sold. What they think they should do. I just want to fully clarify. I'm not a licensed broker. I can give my opinion. This channel is basically about financial education and my experience. And but some of the things that some people do that are very complex, straddles and things like that, I don't necessarily get into doing those fancy straddles. And also, it takes a certain amount of money. I think the biggest mistake is, and I see this a lot, and I've done it myself in the past, is sizing, is putting too much of your account at risk. In other words, if you have a $10,000 account and you're risking 50% of your account on one position, that's just crazy. You shouldn't be doing that. And even on an options contract, you really should only probably be risking no more than 5%. So that's like a $500 position. Otherwise, you're gonna get spanked, and these things are going to happen. So I touched briefly on Tesla actually last night when I did the video, and it bounced back up, but today it had a range. It was at one time, Tesla today had a low of 762 and a high of 799. So I mean, it had 37-point swing there. It actually closed up $1.93 at 798.15. The options, I said, if you were going to buy an option, maybe possibly look into the March 5th 700. And you guys can watch last night where I've said this. You could buy the 700. Now here's would have been a perfect scenario. These I don't know how to. Now I am on the WEBULL website, and I'm not quite sure exactly how it would show. Trying to figure out all this stuff. It's saying to buy. Now it closed down today. It's just 13%. But I had mentioned it yesterday that it was around $11. At one time today, that position was up 48%, was at $15. So that would have been a nice swing trade for option today. If you would have put in basically 1,100, you would have made 500, but you would have had to, you had to get out of it. You can't be greedy. Hello, Paula. Thanks for stopping. I'll highlight and. Hey, Dave, thanks for stopping. I'm talking a little bit about in the market today, what went on. Tesla basically, I think, finished up from the news I heard today, if I'm correct, is that the ARK funds, yeah, Kathy Wood's ARK investment has been buying Tesla. So she today bought Tesla. Yeah, she bought 132,000, and I'll share this with you. She bought 132,128 shares of Tesla today. So she's been getting a lot of press lately on the stuff that she's buying and stuff like that. But today would have been a nice swing. There was a lot of stocks at one time that were down. Now, one of the stocks that I follow is VERU. They are a pharmaceutical company. Somebody knew something today because the stock was down, and then it's down again after hours, 4.5%. So it was down like 17% today. They're doing another public offering, so that stock was down. Okay, let's get into Amazon. Amazon was actually up today 1.5% and 39.69. It's really looking like it could. If you look here, this downtrend, it looks like it's going to start to break out again. So we may, if we get some continuation here, it's 33.10.73. So we'll see what happens the next 2 or 3 days. Let's look at the options and see this week's 33.08. Let's see what the 3400s are going for. They're only going for 298. Wow, that's not that bad. If the stock moves, so one contract. Let me see if is that right. 3400s. Open interest change. Implied volatility mid last. Yeah, $3. So I mean, we basically for $300, we could it would have to 3,400. I mean, it doesn't have to. That's what everybody needs to realize. It doesn't need to go to 3,400 to make money on it. If that stock, honestly, if we get some continuation, now it is Wednesday, but if we get, for example, if someone bought it today at $3, if we get a continuation tomorrow of about another 50 points of around 33.70, guarantee those Amazons will be a double or even 120, 130%. So, there's where I like to sometimes buy those. I haven't done no options trades this week yet because I have 2 positions that are kind of tying my account up right now and waiting for things to settle as far as the trades. But you could see here, so I really think we could break out in the next, which would put it, let me see, range. Let's see 1 year chart. Yeah, and there's 35.87 somewhere in that area. 35.52 is the top. So I wonder if we're gonna get a breakout here because it's really been consolidating the past since July. It's really been in this sideways action. I mean, we got to be careful though, because typically what happens is when earnings come out, the stock will. What happens is insiders are not allowed to sell to something like 2 weeks after earnings come out. So that could be an issue there that we could. So we need to. We keep an eye on this. I tell you, if we start getting some momentum though, we definitely could. We definitely could get some action here to. So then really the next target is like, yeah, in the 33.75 and then like 34.60 and then really up in here. So I wonder if we're going to get, let me look back and see traditionally, some of the times these things are more seasonal than you think. They are like certain months of the year will trade. Yeah, well, it has, okay, now if you look back here, has the tendency to rise into at the end of February into March. March is last year was we can't count March last year because that's when we shut down, so we can't even count that. So it's hard to even go back and look at the charts to see what's going on as far as that. But Amazon looks like it could be a good short-term trade here, that especially if you're going to invest in the options. Amazon, if you guys haven't heard, if you looked at the thumbnail, Amazon just bought a company. Amazon just bought a company in Australia that is basically going to compete with Shopify to help small businesses set up platforms to sell their stuff online. So I like that. I'm trying to find that news article. I like that Amazon, even though as big as they are, I am actually, if you guys are watching this, I am a third-party seller. That's one of the ways I make a living, is I sell on eBay and Amazon, and I am a third-party seller on Amazon's platform. Last year was a tremendous year for me. Took off because of shutdowns and stuff like that. And what was happening is Amazon was restricting a lot of stuff that was going in, so it allowed an opportunity for people such as myself to do merchant fulfilled, and I was shipping a lot of orders merchant fulfilled. How do we figure out what stock to buy? Well, you got to do your homework, and this is what I'm showing Paula, is that first of all, I'm not recommending any stocks. I'm giving you I did do a list of stocks beginning February the 4th. I would hate to see you buy. I would have to know your situation. If you're serious about buying stocks, is get a list together and then tell yourself, why would you want to buy that company? That would be the first question. Sometimes people say, oh, I want to buy it because I just know the name. You could get in at the wrong time. Oh, okay, here it is. Yes. Amazon said it acquired Australian e-commerce called Zelles. It's the rival Shopify. Zelles serves as an online platform that helps small businesses and medium-sized launch their online business. They brick and mortar stores have invested more in e-commerce. Some estimates have the sector expanding by 50% last year. Shopify, they feel, has become a significant threat to Amazon. The company saw sales of over $5 billion on Black Friday weekend, topping Amazon's $4.8 billion from third-party sales, according to the company. So Shopify is really looking to be a serious contender. Amazon, right now, let's see profile. Amazon's profile right now, if we can look at their market cap. Now, what I'm doing is I'm on the WEBULL desktop. What I did is I signed up for WEBULL. If you guys are interested, in the description below, sign up. You can get some free stock. I think you only have to put $150 in your account, and you can get free stock. They're supposed to be giving away Google, Facebook. It's like a random thing. And then because if I refer, you click on that link, they give me one free share. So what I'm trying to do is, I've been traditionally trading from my cell phone using WEBULL. So now I'm sitting here using the desktop. And what I like about this, and I'll show you, I am here dictating and reading the charts and stuff like that. But I want to show you that the different things that you can do. And I'm still, this is only my second day as far as using the desktop on WEBULL. But what I like about it is I wanted some sort of platform that I could use to, share with you guys. Oh, okay. So now here I want to show you that this is Amazon. This is the revenue. NLST. Yeah, I got that symbol today. I think it's $1.20. I will look at that a second, Dusty. Give me 1 second, sir. All right. I don't have YouTube pulled up right now because I have actually just the StreamYard, but give me a second. So ending 2020, total revenue for Amazon was $386 billion. But we got to keep in mind, that's not everything that they sell, because they are involved into so many things. They're involved in the cloud. They're involved in Prime membership, where people get, the so-called free shipping. They are involved in multiple business. So it's not just selling items or collecting fees from third-party sellers. So I'd like to dig in the future and figure out what basically the breakdown of this $386 billion. The largest it still is Walmart. I mean, Walmart, we know what they're doing. Walmart, okay. Walmart, look at that, $524 billion. But they're involved in, obviously we know what Walmart is doing, but Walmart's really starting to be a good competitor to, Amazon and stuff like that. So Walmart actually comes out, I think they come out with earnings tomorrow. And Walmart has been a great stock actually since the pandemic. There's another one where wish it would have just, it kind of made sense, because unfortunately a lot of mom and pops were closed, and people, your Walmarts, your Targets were open and stuff like that. But pretty much since last, even, okay, yeah, you can always go from the bottom of the 102 here, but even at an average of, say, let's say, 115, 120-ish, at 154, 50, you still had a 40% move in a year. So that was a great move. Another one that I follow and I recommend it was Dollar General. Dollar General, was down to 130 and had hit 225. Now it's been pulling back. I recommended Dollar General on February the 4th at 195.72. It's at 201.50. So it's been kind of, it's trying to save the chart. Now my short-term target on it was around 215. So these are trades that I'm talking about. These aren't long-term investments. These are just things to look at. Okay, so let's look at Shopify real quick before I forget here. Shopify had earnings today. Let's look at the news and see what the earning. Shopify revenue had gained 94%. All right, let's pull that one. Hold on. Yeah. Shopify quarterly revenue earnings of $1.58. They had sales for the fourth quarter. They beat their estimate. They had estimated, the analysts had estimated $1.25. They had $1.58, so they beat. Their revenues would have been $910 million. They beat. They did $977. 236% increase over earnings of 47 cents a share last year. By 7, the increase over 50, and then same period. So last year at this same quarter, they only had done $505 million. This year they did $977 million. So they doubled their sales. So let's look at the financials. Their revenue is only $1.58 billion. Market. I don't know the market cap off. I gotta figure out some of this things. I mean, there's ways to look on Yahoo, obviously. I think the last I looked at Shopify, their market cap was approximately $180 billion. Now, today, it was down $49, where at one time today, the stock was actually down about 112. So you had a low of 1345 and a high of 1459. So you had it was down $112. So it did recoup some of that loss, but it was, if you look at the chart here, it really had run up into earnings and was getting overbought. And it was probably good that we get, it'll probably get some support down here in the mid-Bollinger Band. There's a lot that they're trying to do. They help with people trying to sell products and having their own. They're basically, you pay them like a monthly fee, and sort of like PayPal, you pay 2.9%. The problem is they still don't have. They're not Amazon, so they still don't have that reach yet to bring people. You got to provide. I know someone that just recently opened up on Shopify, and you still got to get people to come over to your Shopify site. Yeah, it's nice to set it up, but it is nice because it's a template. There's things that I want to do as a reseller. Like I would like to, I'm into selling sports cards, and maybe I set up a Shopify account to get into in the future selling, sporting goods. Maybe I sell, custom bats and cards and stuff like that. And basically, instead of having just a regular generic basket, you basically have Shopify site where people can trust the platform. They can go in there and they can order stuff, and basically I get an email, print a sticker, ship it out, and it's good to go. Where years ago you would have had to pay thousands of dollars to have someone custom make that website and make up that basket and have a different somebody else come in. So I'm going to actually look into that in the future, and I may try that out. And if you guys don't know who I am, I'm Pat Dees. I have another channel called Pat Dees where I do reselling, and I sell on eBay and Amazon. And I show a little bit of life adventures on that channel and stuff like that. But I was talking a little bit about stocks on that channel, but really wanted to keep it separate and talk about money on this channel. That's why I created the Money Me channel. And I'm enjoying doing these videos, and I've pretty much been doing about 6 of these a week because there's always something to talk about. So let's dig into one of the viewers in the chat. If you're watching this on the replay, NLST Netlist. Oh yeah, that's been breaking out. It's $1.20 today. Was up 11%. Hey Schreiker, thank you for sharing my channel in there. Let's see. Let's look at the past. Oh, okay, Paula. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it takes a lot. People don't realize it's a lot of work to do this. I really enjoy. I mean, I enjoy reselling, but if I sell a pair of jeans or a bottle of soap, there's not much to do on a video and to talk about it. And I really like going to unique places, but because everybody's been tied down with COVID, I haven't really been able to go to like antique stores or really unique places to feature on that channel. I still do some videos, and I'm doing interviews. I'm having some people on, if you watch any of the videos over there, that have worked with Tops. And they're doing a lot with the cards and artists and different things. I have a young lady coming on next week who's a reseller from Australia that sells in books and stuff like that. But this channel over here, I am a landlord. I've traded stocks for 20 years, and mutual funds. I do manage a couple accounts, and I manage my older son's 401k that I've grown into a large. Started with $50 a week. And grew his money and tip. I 75% 1 year, 20, 40, basically have doubled the money in 3 years and even made money last year. So let's look at the profile on this Netlist. Netlist designs, manufactures, and sells a wide range of memory subsystems for data centers, storage, and computing markets. The company operates, designs, and manufactures systems for the servers. They are based in Irving, California. Okay, let's let's go over to their website. Let's see what let's look at the website. And this is their website. This is the one that Alabama Picker's in there. He's a friend from the reselling community, and he's supporting me on this channel, so I appreciate it. And so they make stuff with computers. Okay. That's a cheap stock, so wonder what. Let's click on real quick some of the products. Okay, and see what's nice about this too is when you find these websites, if you can click on investors like that, and you can look, and you can click on the financial documents a lot of times. So you really, I'm always surprised how many people don't do their due diligence when they invest into stocks and stuff like that, and look at them. So. All right, let's see if there's any latest news. Oh, now okay, there. Wonder if there's some insider selling. Okay, here I'm going to show you this. Chong Hong, director, executed a $550,000. This is dated February the 10th. He sold a 500,000 shares of Netlist on the 8th for 555,000. He owns though. He owns 8 million shares, so I'm not worried about that. Yeah, it just says he sold. Hey, a lot of times people sell for tax reasons, and they sell for because they want to get a house or do two different things. I don't see earnings insight. I don't see a latest earnings report. Here's one. Seeking Alpha though, you gotta be signed up to see it. So let me, yeah, Seeking Alpha. Can't click that one on. Okay, so this one's from last May. Let's see. Yeah, that's a different company that last year in March they beat on revenue. Revenue of 9 million. They're a small company, so it is a small stock. Financials. Okay, yeah. 2019. They haven't updated their 2020 financials yet, but I mean we are just in February, so being a smaller company, they obviously take a little bit more time. But okay, so that's why maybe the stock's been kind of held back. If you look, 2017 they did 38 million. 2018 they did 33 million, and 2019 they did 26 million. So their sales have actually been down 3 years in a row there. So I'm not sure what the issue was on that. Now their profitability, even though their sales were down $12 million, they actually made more in 2019. You see that? Their profitability was $2.57 million, where it was only $2.46 million when they did 38 million. So they did $12 million more and made less. So now, this is looking into the company. It's got a current 120. It's one of those stocks, I guess, if you want to speculate, where even if you bought, let's say, 500 shares at $600 and you sit on it and one day, maybe it's a $10 stock or it gets bought out, but it definitely is a penny stock. And I traditionally don't invest into penny stocks only because the way the account is, a lot of times you can't be any buying power that you have, you can't be buying with margin anyways, because they won't allow you, because it's under $5. So you go back to 2017. So basically at breaking out at 120, here it is back in August at 120. It's had some good momentum lately, because it was down here. Let's see, dig this into, yeah, it broke this chart here and broke out. So it was down on Christmas Eve to 47 cents, and today had today was a huge day. It was up 11%, 11.11%. So what is the next target though? What do we see as the next target? Let me go back to a 5-year chart. 120, probably about 140, and then after that in the 160s. So I mean, yeah, it could still move to 140, but the problem is if you don't pay attention, it could hit 140, and then you get some selling, and then you're sitting back there looking back down because it pulls back to 110. Okay, I don't know. Now, if you're more than welcome to come in the chat, but if you're gonna kind of make, frankly, stupid comments that is going to distract me from talking about the market, I'll just time you out the first time, and then the next time I'll just block you. It's all right to. I'm not a, but I try to read the comments. Hey, Michael, thanks for stopping in, and if you're going to make comments that are inappropriate or rude, I have a lot of blockers in there that you can't say certain things, but I'm just gonna I don't really have time for that. I'm trying to be serious about this and kind of take the time for a viewer that wants me to pull up a stock, and then we got to be clowns. So no clowns allowed, I guess. So tomorrow, let's pull up real quick. We're going to pull up. Let's see who's coming out tomorrow. Let's we're going to actually do. Let's look at Earnings Whisper and see who's tomorrow morning. Okay, let's share this screen. Okay, so I think tomorrow. Today's the 17th. Tomorrow, Walmart is scheduled to come out with earnings on the 18th. Nvidia is not till next week. Roku is supposed to, I think, come out after hours tomorrow. Square next week. Fiverr this week. Salesforce next week. Barrick, I think is that a gold company? And Applied Materials is actually going to come out. There is a chip shortage, so I wonder if Applied Materials will do good. After hours, I just noticed that did really well was Twilio. I think the stock was up, 12%. Almost 12% after hours. So there's a case, and we'll look at that real quick. Here's a 6-month chart. That stock, look, it was breaking down, and now the stock is at 458. So let's look at the options on that one. Let's just for to see what's going to happen tomorrow. You could see it closed at, let's mark that down. We're going to round up 412. So it after hours, I'm not sure. Schreiker. After hours, it's pretty much almost at 460. But you can't always go by after hours. I've seen it already after hours, and people have, I've seen it after hours go up, and then in the morning, they just don't have the same momentum in buying. All right, so the 450s, there they are. The 450s last was $4. So automatically, if that opens tomorrow at 458, that's going to be worth $8.50, and with 2 days expiration, that'll be worth about $9. So they'll be $4. They'll be $9. So that'll be about 120% return on those tomorrow. So somebody already had known that was going to probably do something as far as, because even with that, so it had an implied move, and it paid obviously for it to do. So let's look at the news on Twilio. Okay, Twilio announced fourth quarter and full year results. The GAAP loss per non-GAAP earnings were -4 cents. Revenue was up 65% year over year, 548 million. They have more than 221,000 active customers as of December compared to 107. So they gained like 45,000 customers. If you're not familiar with Twilio, Twilio offers cloud communications platform which helps develop, to build, scale, and operate real-time communications with software applications. So anything that basically is making, it seems, the businesses work better, and obviously working from home and really be productive is doing. Barrett, let me see what Barrett, what's their, is it, Barrett Gold right there. Barrett Gold was down actually 4% today. Is there any news? Now, if you guys, Michael and Schreiker, you're in here late, I have my WEBULL desktop pulled up, and what I'm going to do is and this is only the second day I've used the WEBULL desktop, and I like it. I like it. It's because there's so much to dig into, and what I like about it is I'm trying to show you guys is that, look, do your own homework. If you're interested in stock, if you guys are interested in signing up WEBULL, though, do me a favor, in the description, click on my link, and you can earn free stock, and I can get a free stock. I did get 4 free shares. I got 2 Southwest Energy, 1 Zigna, and I did get a gold company. I don't know if it was Alamos or something like that, but I'm not sure. Gold tumbles to lowest since June. Uh-oh, death cross forms. So they're saying that could be why. Now Zax is saying that. Let me see. Look for the stock. It was down to 4% today, probably because gold dropped, obviously, of course. But for the last quarter, came out with earnings of 41 cents versus 32. They were only expected to earn 19, so they delivered a surprise of 20%. One thing I've noticed today, no problem. I just honestly I don't know who is who anymore, and in the chat, and I really want to keep a certain the way that things are done and stuff like that. And I'm sorry I didn't call out your name, but I had to put you on the spot like that. But I need you guys to support me and watch the channel, and I want you guys to know that I'm serious about this. I take a lot of time to do this. I'm not getting paid, and I appreciate everybody's support. Okay, you have one already. Okay. Warren Buffett took some large positions in energy stocks in his last fourth quarter. If you see today, see here, Chevron was up 95.92, and oil's been going up, so that's obviously going to be good for these larger oil suppliers. And I'm into XEC, and I could show you now. I saw the news earlier because I watch this every day. Well, okay, we'll put the symbol in if you that's fine. Yeah, here's Warren Buffett got in. Warren Buffett increased his position on Chevron and Verizon. He did sell some Apple, actually, but he still owns a large position in Apple. The energy company that I'm in right now is Cinerex Energy. So I really think this is going to be a good stock. And these are a lot of these stocks that I'm mentioning. We hold. This is not a paper account. These are real. No, I mean, I'm familiar with Warren Buffett, and obviously he's more conservative, and he has the power to obviously move the markets, and he has admitted. I like to listen to anybody that I can learn from. I don't get on here proclaiming to be the stock expert. What I'm doing is I'm trying to basically entertain, educate my experience, and get people just more involved that is the little guy like myself. And there's people that I look up to. Warren Buffett. If you know the story of Warren Buffett, he started with $100,000, like 50 years ago, and owns a lot of companies. He owns big positions in Coca-Cola. He is the owner. Berkshire Hathaway is the owner of, Geico and stuff like that. So there's a lot of companies that they're involved in, and those are people I've always looked up to. A lot of sometimes people look up to athletes and stuff like that. Yeah, that's entertainment. It's nice to hit a home run and stuff like that. But really, I look up to people that can really create long-term financial wealth. Because there's just things that you could do better for your family, better for society, and stuff like that. So that's why I look up to a lot of those types of people, and really enjoy. I was a small, I'm still a small business owner, obviously, because I sell on Amazon, eBay. But I was in the restaurant business, and came from nothing, and I enjoy the market, and I enjoy the value. Oh, yeah, Funko Pop. I can look up that. I enjoy the real estate Funko. Oh, okay. Well, let me tell you, Schreiker, and also $800. Basically, what I would do with $800, and I'm glad you brought that up, is what you would do is you would go to like Vanguard. and you would open an account for 500 bucks and then slowly add in $50 to $100 a month until you get your $800 in there. Vanguard would offer a basket, a mutual fund basket of stocks. And if you don't need this money in the next 2 years, don't worry about it. And then if you slowly can add $50, I'm not sure how old you are. Basically, the rule of thumb is, for example, if you're 50, you take that out of 100, and that's pretty much how much you should have invested into the market. Don't ever take $800 and go put it into one stock just to do that and then watch it go down. I'd hate ever to see that. So basically what that is, that rule is, as you get older, you own less and less stocks because you're needing that money to live on as you get older. In other words, if you're 80, you should only have 20% of money into the market. And if you're young, for example, 25, you should have 75% of your wealth, including real estate, gold, Bitcoin, any of those type of things. You should have it really into the market. And that's what I'm going to talk about in the future is really, I want, what's happening here. And I'm looking at the demographics of the people that are watching this channel. I'm getting even younger people that are interested, 18-year-olds, 20-year-olds, because 20-year-old could start right now for basically $100 a month. And if they can get the company to match it in a 401k, they will be, even at 10 or 11%, by the time they retire at 65, they will be a millionaire. Plus, there's a lot of tax benefits that are advantage of doing that. And those are things that I'm going to talk about more in the future and stuff. And as I grow the channel, is I want to get people, because again, I want to educate people on. I'm not trying to sell you, $900 program, or come and give me $80 a month. That's not it. This is the hangout. Let's talk about stocks. And boy, when you start making money like that and you feel good about it, you'll feel more comfortable getting in here. I could tell you, my son started out with like $50 a week. He worked for Amazon, and once we got to $5,000, then I switched it to stocks, and then started really buying like $5,000, $10,000 positions. So in other words, we'd buy like Viacom. Now, Viacom was a stock we had last year, and I got out. Honestly, that's a mistake that I've made. I got out way too early. I had Viacom pretty much in the 30s and sold it in the 40s, because what had happened last year is it took a beating. It went down to like $12. Let me show the chart. 1 year. Yeah, it had gone down to 12, like 10. I'm like, whoa. Was down big on that. Now lately, what has been happening, because a lot of this, I mean, it's been really parabolic this year. It was at, let's see, the first day of the year, 1/4, it was at like 34, and now it's at 61. I missed that. I mean, we're talking, we're still up in the one account 18% for the year, and that one account that I do manage for my son, that we don't do no options. That's strictly all stock. There's another gentleman that I've helped. Basically, because I used to help him with real estate, but because I don't help him with real estate no more, I don't have his passwords. But I bought 3 positions for him. I bought Kohl's, Viacom was one of them, and Disney. And that $12,000 that was put into that account is now worth $30,000 10 months later. So, don't be afraid. If you need that $800, Striker, and I don't know, I wish I knew your first name. We always call you Striker. If you need that $800 to pay your rent and stuff like that, don't do it that way. And don't dump $800 into one thing. Look into find a mutual fund where there'll be no upfront fees, and put in $500 to start out. And then like the 15th of every month, have them take the $50. Yeah, emotion is hard to get by, because let me tell you, I mean, I took a $10,000 loss in the last year on one position, but I make it back on others, so I don't worry about it. And I got too married to the stock, and I know it's a grind to get it back, but I know that I'll make it back, and because I've done it before. and you learn from those. A couple of years ago, I took 1,500 and I turned it into 19,000 in 3 months. I pulled out 16, so I turned it into 19, but cleared. I wound up clearing 16 after everything because some of the positions I should have got out, but they expired. And that happens, you know. Yeah, and it's funny that you say that because I know a lot of people, they won't invest into the market, but they'll buy lotto tickets, they'll go gambling, they'll do things that waste and cost them money, but they won't invest into their future. And I really think they're making a mistake. But man, I honestly, Viacom basically is a combination of what happened with CBS and Viacom when they merged together like last year. And but man, I mean, I wish, because if we had held this we sold it like in the 40 some area, instead of being up 18% this year, that account would, oh my God, would probably, 60, another 50. Yeah, well, it's based on the number of shares that we had. Yeah, it would have been, we'd be up to about 45% this year. The best I ever did with that account one year was up 75%, but pretty much the 3-year average is close to 38% for that. And even last year with the market dipping down like it did, we still came back. So, is there any other stocks in the chat that people are interested in? I did pull up the Funko. I didn't really talk much about it, but I'm not really big into Funko because I always feel like Funko is sort of like Beanie Babies, that it's a toy. How diversified it's done. Its earnings came out. It's done good. Since November 4/13. But boy, all of us, I see a lot of Funkos flooding the market, and I'm not a big fan of toy companies. I've talked about this with Alabama Pickers, Dusty. Now here, I still, what I got into was 2050 options for March. They had good earnings, but the stock had dropped basically about $1. So it was up 2.5% today. You like McDonald's? Okay, I'll pull that one up. Give me a second. McDonald's is a good quality Dow company. Let me look at 1 year on Funko Pop. Yeah, Funko Pop was down. Funko Pop is actually. Oh no, this is Mattel. Has had actually a pretty good run. I'm hoping it breaks out. If it breaks out even like, let's say 22, I bought 2 contracts. I have $130 into it. I pretty much would double or triple my money, and that's okay. Turning 130 into even 400 is a nice. So McDonald's is MCD. McDonald's is part of the Dow. McDonald's is $213.45. Let's look at a McDonald's is, in case anyone doesn't know, it's the largest by sales food chain in the world. So they had dipped 125. Oh, you were a big toy seller. Okay. One of the stocks I used to own in the past was called Jack Specific, but the problem is with toys is they, what I like about like a Hasbro and Mattel is they have stuff like Barbie, stuff that sells all the time, not like one-hit wonders. Jack's Pacific used to make the W at the time was the WWF wrestling figures, and when they lost that contract to Mattel, the stock dove. So sometimes they have one customer that is like 70-80% of their business. That's not good. McDonald's is a blue chip company. They're not gonna, they're not going anywhere. It's not a fast grower. Again, it all depends how old you are and what your timetable is and what stocks that you want to invest in. McDonald's is not going. They do. Let's look at the annual. Yeah, $20 billion. Pretty much that's their average. $20 billion a year in food sales. One of the food stocks I actually like It's had a run though. Is Texas Roadhouse. Now they do 2.7. I mean, they have grown. Look, 2.2 billion, 72 to tonight, over $500 million. I mean that's bounced off the low too there of around 25. So they've already had a nice run, but they still have a lot of growth coming up. And the thing is they have to worry about is obviously the price of beef, and if the cost of oil is going up, so the farmer's going to pay more, and it's going to cost more to produce, to hay and all that stuff like that. So there's a lot of times things that you have to factor in that you wouldn't even think of, like what does oil have to do? Well, if it costs more, then it's going to cost more. If they're going to sell it for $4.99 a pound steaks, now it's going to be $5.49. Do they pass that to the customer? Sometimes they're not quick enough to pass it to the customer. One thing I like about Texas Roadhouse, and it is one of my favorite places to eat, is that their menu is simple. So they really have very little food waste because they can control that. The restaurant stocks, I'm surprised, have done as well as they have, because with the close down, a lot of sit down can't. Darden restaurants. I mean, look at the chart compared to Texas Roadhouse. Same type of thing. It basically, it dropped all big here, but it didn't last long. I mean, in March, April, this would have been the time. Oh my, when the news broke out that we had to shut down for a month, that would have been the time to make a lot of money holding puts or shorts. And then really, I mean, when some of these things got to be dirt cheap, you lost 75% of the value in a month. That would have been the time to even buy some calls. And I'm not talking weekly calls. You could have bought at 20, when I was down to 26, if you would have bought a November 50 call, it probably would have cost, it would have been a little pricey because they knew it would have came back. But you honestly probably could have bought November 50s for $10. They would have been worth $50. So you would have made 5 times your money on that position. That's a lot of that's just about timing and capturing that right. Now, a lot of these symbols, because again, I've been doing this so long, and I remember a lot of the symbols. CCL is Carnival Cruise Lines. They've not been doing cruises the last. So let's see, Carnival Cruise Line. I've bought and I've traded this stock. I mean, they were pretty much left for dead for $8, and I bought it like at 12.14 and sold it at 19. But I haven't gotten back in it yet. The best stock that I've actually done good lately is the eBay, and it makes sense. I sell on there, and why not? And it's a good, solid company. It had great earnings when they came out with them like 2 weeks ago. Oh, that's not the right symbol. Hold on. I was wondering, whoa. Yeah, right here. But the problem is what happened was when it broke out this day, all they did was sell that. All they did was sell the news that day. Now, I wonder if Jack's is still in business. Let me see. Yeah, they're still in business. $10.34. Let's look at a 5-year chart on that one. Yeah, see? Look at Jack Pacific. At one time in 2016, they didn't even have the WWF contract back then. But they're looking at toy stock, $96 5 years ago, to be down to $3 of a low at one time. So that's the problem. You get somebody that gets in there and let's say puts 10,000, and it'll come back, and it never came back. That's when you basically got to cut your losses and get out. And there's where, some people don't want to swallow their pride, but they could have gotten out with a $2,000 loss and walked away with, let's say, $8,000 instead of walking away with a couple hundred. I know because I seen that happen with Citibank years ago, back in 2008 when that crashed. I don't know if we can go that far back. Let's go back max. Let's see how far it can go back. Yeah, look at this. Look at Citibank. Talk about it. It was never 570. What they did was a 10-for-1 reverse split. So it has never come back to the 2008. It was never, I can tell you, because we owned it. We actually back 2008 took a $25,000 hit, in personally in that stock. That was a good year up until that happened. And I remember I bought that stock. It was in October 31st, 2000, like I think it was 7. And when it dropped, yeah, they came out with the news. When it dropped, I mean, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months down. Just a disaster. And you had a couple months there. I mean, look, basically, when that whole thing happened, and it peaked here with the housing, when there was all the mortgage fraud, and then bottom out not until 2000 February of 9. So you pretty much had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 months out of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 20 months that Citibank was down. Whew. I mean, that really hurt a lot of people back then. So, all right, guys. Well, we're approaching the 60-minute mark. I do appreciate you guys watching or lurking or listening in the background. If you guys could give me a thumbs up and comment on the video and share this out. And if you're looking to sign up to WEBULL, where you can pull up this own stuff yourself and get some free stock, please click on that link in the description. And thanks for your support. You guys have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.